she asked for a bowl and a little water. Without delay, Mr. Walker brought her a bowl and water from the kitchen. Mia made a mixture and then began to draw. She drew quickly on the yellow paper. After drawing the talisman, Mia folded it into a triangle. Then she used a red thread and threaded it so that Britta could wear it. "Is that it?" Mrs. Walker asked. "Yes. When Britta comes out later, she can wear it for 3 days. Then she'll be fine. You'll see its effect tonight," Mia explained. Mr. and Mrs. Walker were intrigued, and they looked forward to seeing the result. If it didn't work, they wouldn't blame Mia. After all, she helped them because she was kind. On the other hand, if it did work, they would be extremely grateful to her. Before long, Britta finished showering, and Mrs. Walker gave her clean clothing. After changing, Britta dried her hair with a hairdryer and then walked out. "Come here, put this on," Mia ordered, handing the magic figure to Britta. Britta didn't ask much about it and directly put it on. "Will I be fine as long as I wear this?" she asked. "Yeah, but you need to wear it for 3 days, so don't lose it, and don't touch water with it," Mia instructed. "Got it," Britta replied. "You can have this jade pendant back, but don't wear it until you remove the magic figure. You should just put it away for now," Mia added. She had already gotten rid of the evil power within the pendant, but she didn't say that. "Thanks," Britta said, taking the jade pendant and putting it on her dressing table. Since Mia told her not to wear it, she definitely wouldn't put it on right away. "All right, you can boil this herbal medicine on your own. Take it once every morning and evening. Whether you're getting better or not, take it for a week," Mia ordered. "Of course. Thank you so much, Miss Gomez," Mr. and Mrs. Walker thanked her. "You can thank me after Britta has made a full recovery. If it isn't helping, feel free to let me know," Mia said. She understood that they wouldn't fully trust her before Britta had made a full recovery. Still, since they turned to her for help, they had to believe that she wouldn't hurt Britta. They believed she had no bad intentions, but that didn't mean they believed that she had the ability to handle the situation. After it was done, Mia and Ashley got ready to leave. "Are you leaving already?" Britta asked. She felt it was a little strange for Mia to leave so quickly after only staying in her home for a short time. "What else do you want me to do?" Mia asked. "Why don't you stay for dinner?" Britta offered. Upon hearing Britta's words, Mrs. Walker insisted. "Yes, if you have nothing to do, you can stay for dinner." She sincerely wanted them to stay, but if they had something to deal with, she wouldn't force them. "No need. I told my grandpa that I'll eat at home. I only have time on the weekends, so I can't disappoint him. After Britta has made a full recovery, we'll come and visit you again. Then I might stay with you for longer," Mia said. "I also have plans. When I'm free, I'll come to see you," Ashley added. She actually wasn't very busy, but she didn't want to stay there alone. "In that case, we won't keep you. Come to see us when you have time," Mrs. Walker replied. Britta was disappointed, but she could understand, so she didn't insist that they stay. After that, Mia and Ashley left. When they got outside, Ashley said, "Miss Gomez, why don't you drive? You can drive to your house first, then I'll drive myself home later." She was still in shock, so she didn't feel like driving right away. "No problem," Mia agreed. After they left, Britta suddenly realized something. She gave a shout, which scared her parents. They thought she was feeling sick, so they immediately asked, "Britta, what's wrong?" "Didn't Mia say she sees me as a friend? But we didn't exchange phone numbers or WeChat accounts," she wailed. Mr. and Mrs. Walker put on a resigned look. They thought something had gone seriously wrong, but it turned out that Britta simply forgot something. "You can see her tomorrow in school. You can ask her for her phone number then," Mrs. Walker consoled her. "Oh, right. I'll ask her for that tomorrow," Britta agreed. She was excited for tomorrow now. In the car, Mia said to Ashley, "Miss Skinner, you're a jewelry designer now, right? Are you working in your own jewelry company or other people's?" "I'm working in another person's jewelry company right now. I wanted to start up my own jewelry brand at first, but I thought it might not be a good idea after researching the market. It's an intensely competitive business. Only several among tens of thousands of entrepreneurs can become successful. I don't think I can do that right now. After all, more than just money is required to manage a successful company. My family is involved in the raw jade material industry. industry, so I don't lack raw jade materials, but it's not easy to cut out jade. I don't want to rely on my family to do everything, Ashley explained. Right. Many industries are in a saturated period now. If you're not very outstanding, it's indeed difficult to be successful. You also need to advertise the products. Otherwise, customers won't see or like you, Mia said. You're right, Ashley agreed. But I have an idea. I wonder whether you're willing to work with me, Miss Skinner, Mia proposed. They just met, and Mia barely knew Ashley, but she could tell that Ashley would be a good partner in several aspects. Mia had seen Ashley's designs, and they were excellent. Most importantly, her family was involved in the raw jade material industry. Although they were just a franchisee, the developer they worked with was a major company in their city. In fact, their family had a very close relationship with that developer, because Ashley's older brother married the developer's daughter. Therefore, if Ashley was willing to help Mia out, it would be much easier for her to purchase lots of raw jade materials. At first, Mia didn't have the idea of joining the jewelry industry, because she knew it wasn't easy to start up a business, but an idea dawned on her earlier. She suddenly thought of a good way to promote a jewelry brand. She decided to mix a jewelry brand into a game. In the game Mia was creating, characters wore jewelry and used other kinds of jade tools. As long as the game became popular, the designs would be famous too. Moreover, they were original designs, and it would be more meaningful if they were produced by the same company. Once the game became popular, people would buy the jewelry. That was the most effective way to promote the brand Mia thought of for the time being. Therefore, she suddenly had the confidence and wanted to start up a jewelry company. You'd like me to work with you? On what idea? Ashley asked curiously. Because she had seen Mia's abilities, she was convinced that Mia's idea must be impressive. I plan to start up a jewelry company. Do you have any interest in joining me? You can be the design director, but you won't be able to get more than 10% shares. I can do stone gambling on my own, so you don't need to pay for the startup costs. But I need you to help me form a relationship with the raw jade material developer. I need to go to their warehouses to pick up raw jade materials. What do you think? Mia proposed. If she directly went to the warehouses to pick raw jade stone gambling, so she believed that she could do it. But could she do well in business? Miss Gomez, is this a thing you've always wanted to do, or is it just a sudden idea? Ashley asked. If Mia had that idea for a long time, she would be willing to join her and work for her. After all, she always wanted to start up a company, but her abilities were limited. I have had the idea for a long time, but I just made up my mind to do it, because I have a good idea for promoting it, Mia said. Ashley was curious about Mia's way of promoting it. What is it? She questioned. To be honest with you, Miss Skinner, I just took over a technology company, and we're currently making a new game. I have great confidence in it. In the game, characters will wear jewelry or use jade tools. We can use our jewelry designs in the game. If the game becomes popular, the jewelry will become popular too, Mia explained. Ashley's eyes lit up because she agreed that it was a good idea, but she worried whether the game would be popular. It's a good way of promoting the jewelry, but the game, Ashley said doubtfully. Although Mia looked confident, confidence wasn't enough to make a game popular. She might think it was a good game, but the public might not like it. I understand your worries, so I won't urge you to make the decision. The game won't be released for 3 months. If you are interested, you can consider it as long as you want. I can take you to the technology company for a tour as well. You can find out more about our company and game before you make a decision, Mia offered. Great, I'll consider it, Ashley answered. It was indeed hard for her to make the decision right away. After all, she knew little about Mia, since this was only their second meeting. She needed time to carefully think about that idea. After that, Mia and Ashley exchanged phone numbers for future contact. Mia drove Ashley's car to the block she lived in. She stopped before she got to the Gomez family's mansion. Then she said goodbye to Ashley, got out, and walked the rest of the way. Halfway there, Mia's phone rang. The caller ID said it was Bradley calling, but when Mia answered it, Cameron's voice greeted her. Hey Mia, I'm heading back to LA tonight. Is it convenient for you to have dinner with us? I'd love to see you again before I leave. said. Sure, where should I meet you? Mia agreed without hesitation, because Cameron called her with Bradley's phone. Bradley must be with him. She told Mrs. Walker that she needed to dine with Master Gomez, or else he might be upset, but that was just an excuse, so she didn't need to worry about it. However, before she went to meet Cameron, she needed to go home. She couldn't take the 2 pieces of jade everywhere after all. She wasn't afraid of other people paying special attention to her. She simply didn't want to carry them all the time. Meet us at Lemon Grove Restaurant, room 8, Cameron said. Great, I'll be there in a while, Mia replied. It was nearly 4 o'clock p.m. and wasn't dinner time yet, so she had a lot of time. Do you need me to pick you up? Cameron offered. No need, I'll go there on my own, Mia answered. Fine, Cameron acknowledged, not insisting. Back home, Mia saw Vincente walking in the yard with his crutches, while Master Gomez watched from the side. Once Master Gomez noticed Mia, he walked to her with anticipation and exclaimed, Hi, Mia, you're back. What gift did you bring me? Vincente did the same thing, but he walked slowly because of the crutches. Isn't that package too casual? Vincente joked when he saw the sack in Mia's hand, but he accepted it. He didn't care what gift Mia brought him, because he knew it wouldn't be cheap. The package is indeed casual, but the gift isn't cheap at all, and I hope you'll accept it, Mia said with a hopeful smile. She was a bit worried that they might reject it, because it was too expensive. Oh, it sounds luxurious, Vincente responded. He guessed that the price of the gift must be high, so he hesitated to accept it before seeing it. Master Gomez, however, didn't think the gift would be too expensive, because he thought that Mia didn't have much money. Moreover, it was a gift from his granddaughter, so he would cherish it no matter what. My love is the most valuable thing, right? Let's go inside to see them. It's not right to show off my wealth outside, Mia said mysteriously. The more Mia spoke like that, the more Master Gomez and Vincente were curious about what she brought them. They went back to the living room, where Vivian was sitting and reading a magazine. When she saw Mia, she was displeased. Mia was like a thorn in her side, but she couldn't walk away the moment they walked inside. It would be rude, and she was afraid that Master Gomez would be mad at her. In the living room, Mia directly took the jade out of the sack. She had nothing else to wrap it up in, so she took it out without fanfare. Mia took out the violet jade first. Because violet jade was so rare to see, they thought it was simply a stone when they saw it. Purple stone? Vincente asked. Oh, this stone looks beautiful. I think we can make handicrafts with it, Master Gomez stated happily. Even if it was merely a stone, he didn't show any disappointment. Mia put on a resigned look, but it was understandable that they didn't know what it was. After all, they knew barely anything about jade, and they had no idea that she would bring jade home. Vivian knew a little about jade, but she didn't think of jade at that moment. She thought it was a stone too, so she immediately mocked. Oh, Mia, you brought your grandfather a stone as a gift? So what? This stone is beautiful and I like it, Master Gomez argued. Even though it wasn't worth much, he liked this beautiful gift. Grandpa, this is not a stone. This is a piece of violet jade, which is worth over $20 million, Mia revealed. What? Jade? It's worth over $20 million? Master Gomez gasped. Everyone was shocked. Looking at the violet jade, they couldn't believe their eyes. They didn't know about the types of jade, but they were aware of the high value of it. How is that possible? Where did you get so much money to buy such expensive jade? Vivian accused. She refused to believe that Mia had money to buy such a gift. She didn't want Mia to be so rich. Right, where did you get the money to buy this? Master Gomez agreed. He didn't doubt Mia, but he was full of surprise and confusion. Vincente understood that Mia was rich enough to buy jade, but he felt the jade wasn't worth $20 million. Most importantly, what was the use of the jade? He liked valuable objects, but the Gomez family wasn't so rich that they kept expensive collections. With $20 million, they could do a lot more meaningful things. I obviously wouldn't pay $20 million for the jade. I went to the antique street today and paid $8 million to buy a half-cut raw jade material. And I cut this violet jade out of it. Uncle Vincente should know how I got so much money. I invested in the stock market with him the other day, and I made millions of dollars, Mia announced. What? You went of dollars as well, Vincente admitted. Since Mia said it aloud, he would obviously admit it now. Since Vincente confirmed it, Master Gomez believed them. Vivian, on the other hand, was extremely jealous. How could Mia become so impressive? When did you learn to do stone gambling? Master Gomez asked Mia, looking at her with excitement. His granddaughter was so unbelievable that he thought he might be in a dream. I learned it recently, but cutting out jade is mainly up to one's luck. I have good luck, so I was able to be successful this time, Mia claimed. She concluded it to be good luck. Otherwise, she didn't know how to explain it. It was true that cutting out jade mainly relied on a person's luck, so the others were impressed by Mia's good fortune. Grandpa, this is for you. You can make whatever you want with it, but you better pay someone you trust to do it, otherwise you might lose a lot, Mia cautioned as she handed the violet jade to Master Gomez. No, this is too expensive. Why don't you keep it for yourself? Master Gomez said. He would feel uneasy if he took it because it was too expensive. The price isn't important. This represents my love for you. You can't reject it. If you do that, I'll be hurt and won't talk to you in the future. After all, I was very happy when I cut out the jade, and I immediately wanted to give it to you. Isn't my love more valuable than the jade? Mia argued, acting angry. Even though Master Gomez knew Mia was only acting mad, he still didn't have the heart to hurt her, so he finally took it. How can you threaten me every time and get me to do just what you want? He chuckled, feeling amused and very touched. Only close relatives were willing to give such an expensive gift. If I didn't threaten you, you wouldn't take it, Mia replied, showing the satisfaction on her face. Fine, Master Gomez acknowledged with a smile. Is my gift also a piece of jade you cut out? Vincente asked, feeling that it was highly likely. You're right, Mia confirmed, then took out another jade and handed it to Vincente. This is a piece of Confederate rose jade that I paid $8 million for. It's worth at least $20 million as well. They were already amazed by the piece of violet jade, which was worth over $20 million, but now there was another piece of extremely valuable jade. Vivian was more jealous than ever. Her mind was tormented with angry thoughts. Why was Mia so outstanding? Why couldn't Alyssa be so impressive? If she was, they could easily make a fortune too. Mia, you're amazing, Vincente exclaimed. He took the jade and didn't want to put it down. He was too surprised to say anything else. He had to admit that Mia was unbelievable, and she was getting better and better. He wondered what else she could do, because he believed she must have a lot more skills he didn't know about. Of course I am, Mia said proudly. She accepted their compliments without delay. After all, she was indeed impressive. Afterwards, she raised her arm and showed them her blood jade bracelet. See? I found this at a stand today. It cost me $1,000, but it's real, so it's worth at least $20 million, she announced. Hearing that, everyone was surprised once again. Vivian was so jealous of Mia that she suddenly collapsed on the ground. She had passed out in anger. Master Gomez immediately ordered a servant to call David, who was upstairs. When David saw his wife lying on the floor, he immediately picked her up and carried her to the car so a chauffeur could drive them to the hospital. David didn't have time to ask why Vivian fainted, but Master Gomez and the others clearly knew that she passed out, not because she was sick, but because she was angered by Mia. Vivian is too jealous. How could she faint like that? Master Gomez complained. Yeah, she never treats Mia well. Now that Mia has become outstanding, she has lost her calm. I bet she wishes her daughter was as impressive, Vincente scoffed. He had a bad impression of Vivian. Mia shrugged. Although she didn't mean to anger Vivian when she took the jade out, she didn't expect her to pass out so easily. However, she only fainted for a while and wasn't sick, so Mia didn't feel guilty. Halfway to the hospital, Vivian woke up. David asked, "What happened? Why did you pass out all of a sudden?" Vivian didn't answer, and instead, she started crying. She looked heartbroken. David thought she was sick, so he asked with concern, "What happened? Do you feel pain anywhere?" Mia, Vivian sobbed, but she couldn't finish a sentence. What did Mia do? Did she anger you? David questioned, frowning with displeasure. If that was the reason, he couldn't forgive Mia. Mia made around $20 million from the stock market, and she paid $16 million for 2 half-cut raw jade materials, then cut out 2 pieces of jade, which are worth more than $40 million combined. And she just happened to buy a blood jade bracelet, which is worth over $20 million. How could she be so lucky? Vivian exclaimed. What? David gasped. He was shocked, and so was the chauffeur. He almost lost control of the car. How is that possible? David demanded, not daring to believe it. Mia was too unbelievable if that was true. Mia just showed us the jade and told us. I was there. I couldn't accept it, so I passed out. Vivian whined. She told her husband the real reason why she fainted, because she wasn't afraid of making a joke out of herself. She was incredibly angry, so she paid little attention to her image at the moment. Since Vivian passed out because she was so mad, David couldn't blame Mia for that. However, what Mia had done was totally beyond their expectations, so he lost his calm as well.
Dear listener, the upcoming episode will be today's last free episode of this story. Come back tomorrow to enjoy free episodes or get coins now to continue listening.
Meanwhile, after staying with Master Gomez and the others for a while, Mia said that she had plans with her friends and needed to go. Master Gomez didn't ask more or stop her. Mia had won his trust, so he wouldn't restrict her freedom, but he still reminded her to be careful and to come home early. When Mia arrived at the Lemon Grove restaurant, it was almost 6 o'clock p.m. Recently, she paid more attention to her appearance when she went out. Therefore, she also put on makeup and dressed up this time. In the private room, Cameron was waiting, along with Bradley, Dean, and Grayson, the general manager of Nova. Among them, only Bradley had seen Mia with makeup, so when she walked in, he was the only one who recognized her. Who are you? Get out, Cameron ordered her with displeasure when she showed up. He thought girls nowadays had no moral standards. They deliberately caused all kinds of accidents when they saw rich men, trying to get to know them. Cameron had encountered such things many times before. This time, he and the others had to admit that this girl was very pretty, but they weren't playboys. Didn't you invite me here, Mr. Hahn? Mia smiled and joked. She knew that they couldn't recognize her. It was quite normal, so she wasn't annoyed by Cameron's attitude. Hearing a familiar voice, Cameron and Dean rounded their eyes in shock. Mia? This pretty girl was Mia? Bradley knew that early on, so he was very calm, and Grayson didn't know Mia, so he had no reaction. Are you Mia? Cameron exclaimed. Obviously she was, but he was too surprised to accept it right now. Because he knew Mia had delicate features, he figured she would definitely be a great beauty if she wore makeup. However, he didn't expect her to put on makeup today, so he failed to recognize her. Before knowing who she was, he really couldn't connect this beautiful girl with Mia. After she spoke, however, he took a closer look and found they indeed had the same features. That's me, Mia announced. Oh my god, I thought a woman deliberately walked into the wrong private room, Dean admitted. The moment Dean said that, he felt a cold glance fall on him. He instinctively turned and saw Bradley looking at him with displeasure. Dean was struck dumb. What did he say wrong? The reason Bradley was glaring was that he felt like Dean was embarrassing Mia. Mia didn't feel embarrassed, however, and she agreed with Dean. You're right, many women do that on purpose, she remarked. Saying that, Mia directly walked to sit down next to Bradley. It seemed very natural. Cameron and Dean weren't as surprised as the first time, but Grayson was extremely surprised that this girl walked straight over to Bradley, and he didn't protest. Even his face didn't show any displeasure. After Mia sat down, she greeted Bradley. Hi, Bradley. It's been a few days. You're more handsome than ever, she said boldly. Upon hearing the way Mia spoke to Bradley, Grayson was more surprised. Because of that, he realized their relationship wasn't as casual as he thought. Bradley was struck dumb for a second when Mia said he was more handsome than ever. Suddenly, his heart skipped a beat, and he didn't know how to reply. Mia, how can you only compliment Bradley? Aren't we handsome too? Cameron complained. He didn't think he was worse looking than Bradley, but women always paid more attention to Bradley than him, which he was unhappy about. I think Bradley is the most handsome, Mia replied honestly. Tell me, do you like Bradley? Cameron asked meaningfully. Hearing that, Bradley was nervous to hear Mia's reply. Did she like him? However, the next moment, he realized that it was probably not possible. After all, there was an age gap between them. It was impossible for Mia to like him. Even if she liked him, they couldn't get together. Therefore, Bradley turned to look at Cameron coldly and hissed, "What are you talking about?" Cameron understood that it wasn't likely, but he still argued unhappily. "Why does she treat you and me differently?" "Mr. Hahn, I'm just being honest. Why do you think it's about affection? Is it so hard for you to admit that there are men who are more handsome than you?" Mia asked resignedly. Currently, she has no affection for Bradley. She only felt guilty for what he suffered in the previous incarnation. Cameron was struck dumb and didn't know what to say. Meanwhile, Dean snorted with laughter and immediately pointed the truth out. "Mia, he's always been unhappy that Bradley is more handsome than him." "Oh, I understand," Mia nodded, feeling amused. "Dean, how could you say that in front of my face? Do you want me to teach you a lesson?" Cameron threatened, glaring at Dean. Since Dean pointed it out, he couldn't deny it. Otherwise, he would only make a fool out of himself. "It's the truth," Dean insisted. He wasn't afraid of Cameron. "Whatever," Cameron huffed. He clenched his teeth, but he wouldn't beat Dean just because of that. He wasn't really angry. It was just their way of getting along with each other. "Let me introduce you. This is the general manager of Nova, Grayson Moore," Bradley said to Mia. Upon hearing that he was the general manager of Nova, Mia felt a little embarrassed. She wondered whether Bradley had told him that she had hacked into their system. However, Bradley did the introduction, so Mia needed to exchange greetings with him. "Hi, Mr. Moore," she said politely. "Nice to meet you, Miss Gomez," Grayson replied. His friends didn't tell him much about her in advance, but he had heard that her name was Mia Gomez. At the same time, he was very curious about her background. Why were they so polite to her? Grayson didn't know that Mia had hacked into Nova's system. Bradley didn't talk about that behind Mia's back. Besides, it was in the past. After all, she hadn't done any damage to their system, so it was unnecessary to bring it up. "Mia, we haven't ordered yet. What do you want to eat?" Cameron asked, placing the menu in front of her. Mia didn't hesitate to order several of her favorite dishes, which were also Bradley's choices. Bradley always thought it was interesting that Mia had the same taste as him, but he didn't think much about it. After ordering, they began to chat. "Oh, there is a large stone gambling meeting in Akron next weekend. I need to go there. Although it's a business meeting, the schedule isn't tight. I'm going to see whether I can cut out Jade in my free time," announced Cameron. Mia's eyes lit up and she said, "I'll go with you." She knew that Cameron was happy to Bradley and Dean, but she wanted to take part in the stone gambling meeting. At the same time, she could come back with Jade. The others were surprised. Cameron asked, "You can do stone gambling?" "Of course," Mia confirmed, then added, "but if it's not convenient, I can go by myself." "It's not inconvenient at all," Bradley replied. He actually didn't plan to go there at first, but he changed his mind since Mia wanted to go. Moreover, since Mia said she could stone gamble, she must have some skills. He wanted to see what she could do. Mia realized that Bradley would go too, so she was excited at once. In order to make sure, she asked, "Bradley, are you going as well?" "Yeah, I have nothing to do, so I can go have a look," Bradley answered. After making sure of it, Mia was even happier. Although she would go even without Bradley, she would be happier if he came along. Cameron and Dean, however, knew that Bradley wasn't planning on going before. Thus, they knew that he made up his mind to tag along after Mia said she would go. Plus, Bradley acted like he was free, but he was actually very busy. Given Mia's reaction, they didn't think found it exaggerated. She indeed had many skills and was full of surprises. Although I have many skills, I can't do everything. There are a lot of things I can't do, Mia replied humbly. She obviously couldn't do everything. She was just more skilled than ordinary people. What can't you do? Cameron asked. I'll let you know after I run into difficulties. Before that, I don't know what I can't do, Mia joked. The others laughed. Since you can do stone gambling, you must have done it before, right? Dean asked. I did. I just got 2 half-cut raw jade materials today, and I cut out a large piece of jade from each of them, Mia told them. She didn't bother keeping it a secret. After all, it was shocking news, and many people must have posted about it on the internet. It would be known to everyone sooner or later. The others were surprised. Cameron asked, what types of jade? One was violet jade, and the other was Confederate rose jade. Both of them were worth more than $20 million each, and I paid $16 million for them in total, Mia explained. Everyone was shocked. One was violet jade, and the other was Confederate rose jade? That was unbelievable. Not to mention that each of them was worth at least $20 million. They knew little about stone gambling, but they were aware of its difficulty. It was much harder than other types of gambling. Yet Mia had just bought 2 raw jade materials and cut out jade from both of them. They had never heard of that happening before. Bradley was surprised, but didn't think it was unbelievable. Mia had already left a deep impression on him, and he even suspected that she had supernatural powers. In that case, she could do things that ordinary people couldn't do. No way, that's incredible, Cameron couldn't help blurting out. Looking at Mia, he admired her more than ever. Are you sure you're not joking? Dean asked. He slightly doubted Mia's words, because it was too unbelievable to be true. But if Mia wasn't joking, he would believe it. After all, she was very outstanding in his eyes. Of course I'm not joking. Many people were there to see it. I think many of them will post about it on the internet. Although it might not be hot news, you can still find it. Why don't you search for it? Mia suggested. She wasn't sure whether the news would go viral, but she believed that some people would definitely post about it online. When the others heard that, they stopped doubting her, but they were still very surprised. Let me see, Cameron said, immediately taking out his phone and searching for it. He didn't have doubts anymore. He simply wanted to read it. However, when he opened the search bar, he didn't know what to do next. What are the key words, he asked. I don't know. Let me try it, said Mia, taking out her phone. After thinking for a while, she typed, a girl cut out violet jade and Confederate rose jade from 2 half-cut stones in Chicago. The next moment, she looked at the search results. The titles of the articles were basically the same as what Mia had typed. There were only a few different words. However, the news had gone viral much faster than she had expected. It already became a piece of hot news and aroused people's jealousy.
Dear listener, now playing the next audio series.
Breaking news. A certain female student from the 10th grade, Class E specifically, was found half dead in her dorm this morning due to a failed suicide attempt. Sources say she has been struggling with depression and bullying and decided to end it by taking her own life last night in her dorm. Fortunately, she survived. The victim has been taken to the hospital and is receiving treatment as we speak. On other news, the student council has scheduled a meeting with the school's administration board in order to discuss. Apathetic, Julia sighed, grabbing the cup of smoothie and the bags of cream puff from the counter as he scrolled past the newsfeed on his phone to the next video. Why would you want to take your own life for something like that? He pushed the door of the diner open, a bright smile on his face as he looked up at the roof of the library building. The flat roof seemed to be touching the sky. It can never be me, though. Life's full of too much beauty to take your own life like that. Julius walked across the courtyard toward the cafeteria building, his steps light with anticipation. He couldn't wait to surprise Andrella with her favorite cream puffs. They had been dating for 3 months now, and even though she was one of the most popular girls in school, she had chosen him. That had to mean something, right? The cafeteria buzzed with the usual afternoon chatter as students gathered around their usual tables. Julius scanned the room, looking for Andrella's familiar figure. He found her near the back corner, at one of the premium tables reserved for the popular crowd. But something was wrong. Julius stopped dead in his tracks, the smile fading from his face. Andrella was there all right, but she wasn't alone. She was practically wrapped around another boy, someone Julius didn't recognize. The guy was tall, probably 6 feet, with broad shoulders and the kind of jaw that belonged in magazines. His dark hair was perfectly styled, and even from across the room, Julius could see the confidence.
Mm-mm.